It was a crime that rocked the Wilmington community. An FBI secretary found dead in her home, nude and apparently strangled.
WECT's investigative reporter Ann McAdams has an inside look at what happened as she continues with Crimes of the Cape Fear. Ann?
Fran and John, Melissa Mooney's death happened in 1999, but the FBI file into her murder was just released. The case remained unsolved for years, but her devastated co-workers at the FBI would not stop until she got justice.
She didn't show up and she didn't call, which is very unusual.
On August 6, 1999, the ever-punctual Melissa Mooney was late to work. It worried her co-workers at the Wilmington FBI office so much that Larry Bonney sent 2 agents out to check on her at her new home in Castle Hayne.
The door has been kicked open. The door frame was broken, big boot print on the floor. I said, go ahead in, treat it like a crime scene. 5 minutes later, they called back and they said, she's dead.
Agents found Mooney's nude and lifeless body lying face up on the bedroom floor. In no time, a massive investigation was underway. The new Hanover County Sheriff's Office took the lead, but had the full force of the FBI behind them.
She was part of the FBI family, and the FBI family weren't going to quit on this case until they figured out who did it and why they did it.
By nearly all accounts, Mooney was kind, quiet, reliable, and well-liked. But her personal life had been rocky.
She was having some bad experiences at home, and I saw some signs of that. She'd come in with a bruise, and I'd say what happened, and I fell down. And, I'd finally say, come in here and sit down. What the heck's going on?
Melissa divorced husband Roger Mooney, but had been in a heated fight over child support for their 4-year-old daughter just before her death. So when Melissa showed up dead, many people naturally suspected Roger. But he insisted he didn't do it, and after thoroughly investigating him, agents agreed. So who did kill Melissa? After her divorce, she had other relationships. Agents tracked the men down, but they either had alibis or no real motive to kill her. After 2 years of painstaking work, the case had grown cold.
We just had to say, let's start over. You have to constantly test your assumptions with this job. You can't just always go off of your gut. You have to look at the evidence, sometimes from 10 different ways.
They brought in new detectives, offered an $80,000 reward to generate new leads, and went back to the beginning, canvassing the neighborhood for anyone who may have seen or heard anything the night Mooney died. This time, someone stood out. Tyrone Delgado, who lived down the street from Mooney, wasn't as cooperative with investigators as he had been in 1999. Back then, he'd told agents he hadn't noticed anything unusual the night Mooney died. But now, her ex-military neighbor didn't want to talk to investigators at all. Delgado's odd behavior prompted agents to start digging into his past.
Mr. Delgado had never been convicted of more than misdemeanors, but he had been a suspect and charged in some terrible cases, including a brutal sexual assault.
Delgado had been arrested for breaking into a woman's Louisiana home back in 1994. She was pregnant and at home with her 4 young children when she says Delgado sexually assaulted her. The pictures taken at the hospital after the attack are frightening.
When the FBI went and looked at that file, they thought they were looking at the ghost of Melissa Mooney.
Despite the horrific attack, the victim in Louisiana eventually dropped the charges after Delgado's mother, an elected official there, asked the district attorney for a plea deal. Delgado's mother agreed to pay the victim $2,000, and her son Tyrone agreed to leave town. When agents looked into other places Delgado had lived during his time with the military, they found more than a dozen other women who claimed he'd brutalized them. That disturbing past would eventually catch up with him. In 2003, Delgado's wife, Anna Cruz, said he tried to kill her.
They say the more you talk about it, the better it gets, but as his hand was over my nose and mouth, I would take short breaths, but at the same time, I'm trying to fight him off of me.
Cruz's injuries, strikingly similar to Mooney's. Delgado was arrested for attacking his wife, and authorities finally linked him to DNA evidence found on Mooney's mattress. He was arrested for Mooney's murder, and when the case went to trial, women from across the country flew to Wilmington to testify that Delgado had attacked them too.
she did nothing wrong. I still to this day don't understand why he did it. I've always wanted to ask him why, but I don't think I'm going to get a true answer why. Every now and then, you'll get someone who's just pure evil. I would put Tyrone Delgado on the Mount Rushmore of any cases I've prosecuted.
I'm gonna let my kids write me, all right?
In the end, it took the jury less than 4 hours to find Delgado guilty of first-degree murder. It was a case that could have remained unsolved if it were not for the dedicated work of prosecutors and Melissa's co-workers determined to find her killer.
But the FBI family is real and exists. We take care of our own.
Tyrone Delgado is serving life in prison and continues to appeal his conviction. Reporting in the newsroom, Ann McAdams, WECT News.